afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, September 14th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Our feelings are our manifesting fuel. Negative emotions will choke our energy and steer our manifesting vehicle, our body-mind, away from driving towards our dream lives and get lost in the back streets of Dumpster City. Now, of course, it's important to feel all of our feelings. The shame, the anger, the sadness, the fear are necessary to enrich the human experience of this life. But it is a good idea to be aware of which negative feelings, which we tend to stay stuck in, and watch the troubled story that comes with it, which resurfaces like a broken record. Honor and learn from your demons, yet don't make them the master of you. Focus instead on the high vibe fuel that's made of appreciation for others and gratitude for everything that is. We fuel our day with these two sacred ingredients, and we will arrive in Joyville in a matter of minutes. Use all the positive fuel you can because there is an infinite supply. So it's honor and learn from your demons, yet don't make them the master of you. Focus instead on the high vibe fuel that's made of appreciation for others and gratitude for everything that is. There are no limitations to the self except those you believe in. Sept.14. There will come a time when we will have to look back on our entire lives and examine ourselves. Our minds may say at this time you were a success and that you were a failure. You are the only one who determines how you feel about you. And this is based on how much you can love and accept yourself. Every time your mind judges something as wrong about you, it is an opportunity for healing and deeper spiritual growth. You get to expand your perspective on reality and see that your life is much bigger and brighter than what you believed it to be. When you look back at your life, you'll see that some situations matter more than others. There might be that one special person in your past who you wished you opened your heart to more, shared your vulnerability with, and spent more quality time with. There may be things that you did and said which you need to forgive yourself for to be at peace inside. Whatever it is you feel that you failed at in your past, you have the opportunity right now to change it. That's right. You are not dead just yet. There is still time. You can change how you feel inside about yourself and your past. You can take action and have inner healing conversations that will liberate you forever. So you may want to take tonight, 20, 30 minutes tonight before you fall asleep, to look back at your past. Don't live there. Look back at your past. Notice where you feel shame, blame, dread, loss, failure, or some massive pain or suffering. Feel deeply into these pains and give them your full heart's attention. Breathe into them. Give them space to be there. Notice what story you're holding on to that is making you feel this way. And perhaps you think you could have done things differently and are blaming yourself or blaming them for making you feel a certain way. Use this time to find peace with those people in your life, including you, who you need to forgive. Even if they are dead, imagine you picked up the phone and are having that actual conversation with them that leaves you feeling emotionally complete inside. It's all about finding inner peace within yourself. And believe me, they want you to find peace too, because that will bring them more peace inside. For those relationships that you don't need to forgive, think about what is that new relationship is like that will make you feel more intimate, connected, and alive. What are the things you absolutely cannot talk about yet deeply need to? What little things bother you that they do or say which you need to let go of? Make it all about you, not about them. You have the power to change yourself. It's not your job to change them. Do not start blaming yourself or them. This may be the most powerful week of your life. Take the risk to be real. Be courageous. You can do it. When you have those scary conversations that liberate you today, think about how good you'll feel inside tomorrow. Get rid of those burdens and start communicating that which will bring you to forgiveness and true peace inside. If you look back and notice that you feel stuck working at a job that does not make your heart sing each morning, then it is time to look for something new right now. Ask yourself this very important question. If money and time were not issues, and I had the power and creativity to succeed at anything I wanted, how would I help the people of this world? If you cannot get any ideas, think back to your childhood. What did you do that made you happy? What did you dream of becoming when you were innocent and fearless? Take some minutes to type out what you think this world needs to become a better place to live. If you could wave a magic wand and transform this world in any way, what changes would you make? Whatever answers you find are perfect for you. To change your career, simply look through your list and find out which one makes your heart sing the loudest. Then take inspired action. Inspired action steps towards making it come to life this week. There is a law of detachment. Law of detachment means that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. And it doesn't mean you give up your intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. In other words, expecting. Because Buddha once said, attachment leads to suffering. And what he meant by this was that whenever we become attached to a desire, belief, thought, feeling, or anything for that matter, we needlessly suffer. Needlessly. The suffering arises because attachment is an energy born out of fear, lack, and disconnection to our source. We tighten up our grip on certain desires because deep down we believe we need to manifest them in order to feel safe, happy, secure, or loved. This overly tight grip on life simply means we are not feeling the natural connection in our hearts to the great healing source and spirit within ourselves. As long as the mind continues to circulate in this vicious attachment dilemma, we can never truly relax and fully access this ever-expanding, all-loving, spiritual source that radiates at our very core. Whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. Whenever happiness is determined by a thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. And the great egoic cycle of suffering begins. Expectations and disappointments are great examples of how attachment leads to suffering. If the big desire we had today manifest or doesn't manifest. It then becomes the main leading cause of our happiness and unhappiness. The very instant we become attached to a thought, we end up forgetting about love, joy, freedom, and the endless possible things we can be thankful for. The grip onto any thought narrows and eventually blocks our energy, creativity, and vibration, so we cannot perceive any new ideas or options available. So perhaps you're asking, how can we be passionate about our desires in this life and yet approach them in a non-attached, easygoing way? The secret has always been the middle path. If we are too attached or too attached to our desires, they won't manifest. We must hold the baby bird in our hand not too tight or we'll suffocate it, and not too loose or it will fly away. The real secret is finding our natural connection to Source that is always coming from trust and is free from worry and fear. Our desires have this natural tendency to manifest faster than the speed of light when we are walking down the middle of the road. Attachment is a habit that we learned from society. We are suffering because we are gripping too tightly or too loosely onto our thoughts. The mind gets hooked into beliefs that say, I don't have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire, or the mind cannot hold long enough onto the idea or feeling that I do have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information to understand, to manifest what I desire. Whatever we believe is what we create. And thus we manifest this amazing, effortless manifesting adventure or a perpetual daily struggle to survive. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. Sheryl Crow. The Buddha always said the secret to enlightenment is finding the middle path. To find the middle path, we must look within ourselves, stepping out of the periphery and towards our total center. The real work we are here to do is not just on the outer world, yet also the inner. All our outer struggling is a pointer directing us back inside. Suffering is a great teacher showing us where not to go and what not to do anymore. Pain is like a hot poker directing us to back off and rest inside until we are finding the middle path. When we listen to our bodies, we can naturally find a way to loosen or tighten our grip on life, on this life. And then this ultimate freedom simply finds us. It's quite magical how it all unfolds. The universe rewards us when we truly trust in it. If we want to see if we're too attached to a thought, just notice what's happening in your body. Whenever the mind becomes overly attached to any idea, a tension in the body forms. When we think that thought, the more tension we have in our body, the less receptive we become to allowing that desired outcome into our lives. The mind tends to be a cling master, an ultimate skeptic of life. It hasn't learned how to trust life, and so we need to retrain it. Whenever the mind thinks this universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, we need to remind it that it is. When we can stop clinging to thoughts, things, feelings, people, and memories, we will begin to trust the universe will provide all our needs. We can stop working so hard. We can retire our illusions and take a rest from our daily worrying and fears. We can use our precious time appreciating and basking in the divine source that is already here now. Challenges are what make life interesting. overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua J. Marine. Now, a very powerful healing exercise is a great exercise that can actually be a lot of fun to do it. It will give you instant clarity on how to find your middle path. Here it is. Write down every belief that you think is causing you suffering. Take a closer look at what you are deeply attached to having, being, or doing. Find out what are the things, beliefs, judgments, opinions that your mind is currently attached to. It may take a few weeks to completely unravel yourself. Yet keep looking and continuously searching for what is the root cause of your suffering. Discover exactly what are you desiring that you think will give you complete freedom, love, abundance, or satisfaction. Research yourself deeply and explore the truth of who and what you are. Find out what social belief habits you have been programmed with. Make a list. Make a list, check it twice. Find out exactly where and when you've been naughty or nice. Upon deeper investigation into yourself, you'll discover that the mind only becomes attached to certain thoughts that it feels are lacking from inside. Meaning, deep down inside, the person who has 3 master's degrees and 2 PhDs is some attachment to the belief that they are stupid and unintelligent. If a person is a workaholic, always seeking to attain more money, it means deep down they feel a great fear of being poor. That person feels they have to protect themselves from poverty by building up huge resources in their bank accounts. The more money a person needs to accumulate, the deeper the wounding is around feeling worthy, abundant, and secure inside. When we look deep, long, honest enough inside ourselves, we see that the pendulum swing is always the case. After you've got your list of thoughts that cause you suffering and you still don't know how to transcend them, it's time to take a more spiritual route. Imagine what it feels like to be connected, resting, and in perfect union with the divine infinite source inside. Behind every negative belief is a positive one. And lurking beneath both these beliefs is the secret to being free. When we find the middle path to life, this life, we start appreciating everything again. When we can trust and naturally relax, we will start basking in the magical divine source that is already here now. Just remember, you are always connected to a source of infinite power and energy. There is an internal, eternal love source inside you. And this is the only place you can find true everlasting security. Come to know and trust deep down that you have the God-given power to manifest the life of your dreams. It's vital to understand that the mind has been greatly misguided. It has been fed beliefs that simply are smaller truths. The greatest truth of all is the one that will liberate you on every level. It's the one that doesn't need to believe anything. It knows the feeling of real, sustainable success cannot come from striving, reaching, and trying to attain a bigger and better outcome. Remember, most people in the Western world are wrapped up in the striving belief system. So watch out for this societal hypnotism. It's a mass manipulative belief disease going around. The desiring disease is very prevalent out there, and believing what other normal people believe is the main reason why your mind continues to fall again and again and again back into the experience of suffering. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. Releasing attachment exercise If you are ready to liberate your mind from your list of attachments, I invite you to do this little exercise. Do it before you go to bed tonight. And read through it again when you wake up in the morning. Imagine in your right hand is a deflated orange balloon, which is attached to a string. Put the string in your left hand. Start blowing all your attachments, problems, issues, and worries into this huge balloon. You have a magical breath that can breathe the thing or thought you are attached to right out of your body. The more attachments you put in, the bigger the balloon becomes. When you have emptied yourself completely, the balloon automatically closes its valve, and you let go of the string, and it begins to float straight up into the sky. Watch it move far away from your life. Notice if there are areas in your body where you feel a release from the attachments. In these places, imagine breathing in a warm, golden, healing light. Feel the sense of relief and lightness in your body now that you are free from all attachments, worries, and concerns right now. Take several minutes after you have done this exercise to allow this lighter feeling to reach every cell of your body. Relax into your body, into the spiritual being you truly are. Know that you are infinite, eternal, and will never, ever die. Be aware of this freeing, eternal feeling throughout your day, and you'll soon begin to experience a tremendous shift in your ability to effortlessly manifest the life you desire. And enjoy. If you're still looking for that one person who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is to relax our bodies. Inside and out, head to toe. Remember, the body's a sponge. You're not the body. You're the God within the body, the pure consciousness. And the body's like a sponge. So it absorbs everything, emotions, angers, fears, anxieties, frustrations, manifestations, attachments, expectations, suffering. Everything. It's just endless. Now, a lot of the times we don't realize it because it's subconscious. It's not like right in front of us. So we begin to understand. To relax the body, we must let go. Surrender. We hang on to things that don't serve us the greater good. But we hang on to them. Because it's a strange, but in a way, we feel uncomfortable to let go of them. We act like, we say to ourselves, yeah, I'd like to get this gone. Look at the orange balloon. Get it gone. I really don't care to have it drag me or behind me all the time. So you release it. And every single thing that comes into you, remember, they're not your thoughts. These are programmed thoughts that come into you. Your thoughts go out and create. They don't come into you. They come from you. That's the difference of understanding where is the mind in control of me, or am I in control of the mind? Do I master the mind, or is the mind mastering me? Same with the ego. So when we identify and understand this, it's not difficult. It's when you go into quiet and you look at relaxing the body. So you breath out all of this negativity and stuff that you've acquired, absorbed, and had been magnetized to you through this society. And you face it. You could have a whole room full of these. Worries, stresses, fears, anxiety, fear of death, fear of living, fear of wealth, fear of poverty, fear of happiness, fear of sadness, fear of depression, fear of joy, all of these things. You can sit down, literally, and have a conversation with all of them. And you'd be amazed on what takes place. So every time these come into the body, you face them. You're not angry. You're not upset. You just lovingly face them, and then one by one they vanish. And the more, as they come in again, do the same thing. You'd be amazed at what happens. They just disappear. Because they're just thoughts. We're the ones that give them all the power. Nothing else does. They're just thoughts. And then we move energy into form, create it into reality, we manifest it, and then we live it. So you feel your body relax. You will. You'll feel it relax. You can use visualization of the hammock and the shade trees, where you're just there. You're not moving. You're not thinking. You're just out of it. You're outside the mind and the ego. You've left them alone. And you'll find that you're not worried about anything. In fact, you're not even thinking about anything. You're just floating. There's a light breeze over the body. You might hear maybe the leaves rustling a little bit in the breeze. You see the sunshine flickering through the leaves in the tree. But your eyes are closed. You can see the shadows. And you're just in this space of total relaxation. That's when you free yourself from the entanglements of the mind and ego. And that's the now, because you focus on your breath, and that's the now. There's no yesterday breath or tomorrow breath. There's just the now, moment to moment. That brings us out of the ego mind, leaves them alone, stills them, and we're in a space of total quiet, total nothingness, being. Now, we all, at times, become seduced by past experiences. And we reminisce them and we enjoy them. They're wonderful. Some of them aren't, because we reflect on those and we say, I'm not going to do that anymore. I did that before, it didn't work. But we leave alone. It's like we have this library in our subconscious mind. It's a private, personal library. It's all the thoughts, all the things that came at us when these little baby bodies grew. And all those around us, and all their thoughts, and all their impressions, and all their ideas, and all their attitudes ended up in our library. But we put the book on the shelf, we go out, turn the lights off, shut the door. We're done for the time being. Then we move forward, but some of us will go into the past, but they won't leave it. They try at times, but they're still in the past. And they stay there so long that they bring it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say to themselves, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Others of us will wander off into a future that doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. But we wander. And we ask ourselves, when's this going to happen? When am I going to have this done? When am I going to really be happy? When am I going to have enough money? When is my health going to be good? It goes on and on. And then that's where we get upset and irritated and frustrated, which again fills us up with all the things we don't care to be filled up with. So when we have these programmed thoughts, right, floating by like clouds in the sky or a superhighway zooming by endlessly, they aren't ours. They're not ours. Thoughts are projected outward to manifest, to move energy into form. Those are your thoughts. Thoughts that come in and that you grab onto, those are not your thoughts. So the important thing is to be gentle, kind, generous, humble, and 24/7, highest to the highest high, deepest to the deepest deepest, purest to the purest purest, eternal gratitude. So when we find ourselves wandering off, the wonderful thing about it is that we know it. You say, that's not my thought, but we still grab it, and it carries us off out of the now, out of the moment. So when this happens, we just turn around to ourselves and say, it's not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath, my divine positive energy, and I'll be in the now. Every single time. 3,000% of the time you'll be in the now. You focus on your breath. Listen to the breath. It's divine positive energy because it sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God, which is you, which is all of us. Pure consciousness, the God source. And that is what powers the body in order for it to sustain the God source. So we know how to stay in the now, focus on our breath, relax the body, and let go. Surrender. It doesn't mean giving it up, losing it, not having it. It just means that you're not attached to its outcome. And you don't have any expectation to its outcome. Because you know the universe will deliver it right in the finite, perfect time. Now we look at the body when we know we're not the body. This is how we learn how to master the body. You see, inside the body, there are 7 wheels of light, from the coccyx or the tailbone all the way to the top of the head. Some people believe there's more, there's less, different emphasis. We'll just go with the 7 wheels of light. What are those for? Are they something we can pick up? No. They're etheric, spiritual energy, as the gods within this body, these bodies are. So it is for us, the God, to flow through the body. All the emotions, everything. All the organs, all their functions, right down to the quark, at quantum level of the body. So you can see, you can start to understand, okay, so I'm the God in this body, and I flow through these energy vortexes, these beautiful colored wheels of light. That they're attached to all my organs, all my emotions, all my directions, everything. And you, the God in that body, you flow through it 24/7. This is why we say that you are the power of healing, because you are. It's a fact. And science has proven it over and over again. It's a fact. You, all of us, are the power of healing. We're a perpetual energy fountain springing forth out of this body. Up and around and back in, up and around and back in. Omnipotently powerful. We don't lose any energy. We don't lose any power. We don't diminish. We don't expend it all. It is eternal. Now, we know that the soul enters the body powers up the body, everything starts functioning. And the soul's heaven is the heaven, and the body is the earth. All of us that are consciously aware, to a certain extent, know that every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. We also have learned to shine our light outward. And that light is the God Force Love Light energy within each and every single one of these bodies. And that cascades out 360 degrees and floods all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, which are all, in a physical form, houses a God. So if you were to go outer space from this planet, and you were to look at it, you would see that it glowed. And that there is nothing in this universe that can come close to its glow. So we know that we're doing this now. We will continue to do it throughout eternity. It's just at a much higher and much more accelerated pace for the liberation of this planet. Once and for all and completely. Into the higher and higher and higher frequencies of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. So we know that there are parts of ourselves that are awake. Consciously aware to a certain extent. And there are other parts of us that are completely asleep. Completely. A bucket of ice water and a slap on the face would not wake them up. But they are part of us. The God's within these bodies. We're all part of each other. There's no separation. They're with us in the meditation, but they don't participate because they're not awake. So obviously we reach out to all of the parts of us that are consciously aware to a certain extent. This includes all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Includes all of the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. The off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials. All of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And all these pieces of ourselves, all the light energy beings on this planet that come in shape, color, sizes, forms of which we don't see because the eyes we have only see 1% of what is. And the familiarity that we have is fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. The archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. We do interact with them. We meet with them. And not necessarily we know right away. It might be, we won't at times, but other times we understand it, the heart mind. And we say, that was an angel that I just got through talking with. Where are they? And they're gone. And they all have the same message they deliver to us throughout the ages, It's the same message, it's just delivered in a plethora of ways. And the message is, clearly, cleanly, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And that's bliss. They can surround any one of us at any time in the tens of thousands because of their vibrational frequency. They can house a large number in a small area. The ascended masters have mastered physical form, ascending into it, mastering it, and ascending out of it, and pure God form, pure consciousness. We are mastering physical form by ascending into it, creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, the galactic celestials, we're only familiar with just a tiny smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day, and trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're kind of aware of is the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the felines, the Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage, our own self-imposed slavery. And all of these parts would be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of light years away. But we're all one. And the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Gugaplexes coming from trillions of universes endlessly. Of course, they bring those parts of them that are unconscious, but they also bring the parts that we're all part of the consciousness, the pure consciousness, being aware to a certain extent. And we're all gathered in full compassion, arm in arm, hand in hand, in non-judgment, non-negativity, stillness of mind, non-ego. And we're all one, and we're all love, and we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. It is so brilliant, so bright, that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. This is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest frequency of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And it's flooding this planet, head to toe, inside and out, above and below, all around. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Picture it See it through your heart, mind's motion picture, flooding everyone. This golden white light everywhere. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere, reflecting everywhere. Trillions of bright, multicolored lights flashing in every direction, with all of us gathered, consciously aware in this meditation. Now, we look to the source of the reflection, and we notice these little tiny microscopic edge mirrors, and we enter them, and we find and discover that all of us, in uncountable numbers, from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, consciously aware of who and what we are in higher vibrational frequency, teaching each other, learning from each other, either a student or a teacher or a student or both, endlessly. Anybody that steps into your life for a second, briefly, or lengthily, are either teaching or learning. We're either teaching someone or learning from them or both. See, instead of judging the superficial, we ask ourselves, what are they teaching me? You could be in a group of people and someone is saying, you're watching and you're saying, what are they teaching me? There's something. We're always teaching each other. We're always learning from each other. Spectacular. We continue to ascend above the planet. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower that we created that's larger than this solar system. Some of us step outside of our physical form if we're carrying physical form and hover effortlessly above it. And we do this because we can. This crystalline tower, this column, is inside of it has this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light, and it's surrounded by these rings of multicolored light. They're all sending this electrified kind of a cloud or mist that penetrates, absorbs like a warm wave of comfort over us nonstop. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest, and the deepest of the deepest, deepest, and the purest, purest, eternal love. Then follows gratitude and peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great wealth, great contentment. And we discover that all of that is literally saturating us is us. It's the God within us. That's the reflection of the gods that we all are. And it's up to our choosing to embrace it eternally, internally. Now, at the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean could come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, as it's doing now, as it's flooding us, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, the highest and the deepest, purest, eternal love. Now, we are all drops of this golden ocean, and we also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Drops of the golden ocean of the drops. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere well over 3.5 years ago. It holds almost 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of these meditations, the highest of the highest high intent of the deepest, 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 purest, 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 eternal love, gratitude, and peace, flooding this planet, all life, the highest spring valley universe. It doesn't stop, doesn't disintegrate, it doesn't weaken, it doesn't get depleted. It intensifies and continues to expand. All of this, you can understand, you can actually see the vibrational frequencies continually increasing everywhere. And you're going to continually see more and more and more and more and more of it. And it's waking up all the God bodies on this planet. It's waking them up. Ask yourselves this. Do you see the God planet paradise? Do you feel the God planet paradise that all of us who are consciously aware to a certain extent are creating? What does it look like? How does it feel? I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out the mouth. Move easily and slowly. It never leaves this place, and it is always perfect. When you look for it, you find you can't see it. You can't get it. You can't be rid of it. When you do neither, there it is. When you are silent, it speaks. When you speak, it is silent. You cannot get it. You cannot get rid of it. It is always there. When you do neither, there it is. Awareness is not something that we have to do. Awareness is not something that we have to force upon ourselves, impose upon ourselves. When we do nothing, it is there. Our doing is our undoing. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, September 15th, 2021, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call at 3 p.m. and our Time for Change call at 9 p.m.